Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Happy Place Aquatics. We have Mark Pyle here, even though I had it live. Sorry, my guy. Pyle
it's
Aquatics. Welcome in.
it's funny because I'm known as a typo king on my real tight group, tight net group, and it's kind of funny that my name was wrong. I was like, that's just fitting. That's perfect.
Same here, sir. So, how's the weather in Texas?
Weird. Uh, Yesterday was pretty chilly, windy. Dropped down to 20 last night, and then this afternoon it was 66, and I don't know. It's probably 55 or something up there now. I don't know. It's not bad. So it's just wacky, normal Texas, but it's been hot as hell. So it's been difficult. I got snakes in my snake room, which is a part of my garage that I've walled off and put an extra door in. And I try to keep everything else, the native stuff's there. So I try to cool it down in this wintertime to simulate, outside. 'Cause I don't do a whole lot of shows or do a whole lot with them during the winter. So if they're, cooled down, brummating, they're not eating and not costing me money. So it makes perfect sense to give them a natural cycle. I can take a break. The problem is when it's 75, 80 degrees, and beginning of January and December, it's kind of hard to cool that room down without an good air conditioner or something in there, which I'm not going to run and don't have. Normally, I just let that room cool down and have a cool little thing I designed and built. It's got a little algorithm in there that blows air into that room. If the rest of the garage is colder than that room, down to a certain temperature, and then the whole thing shuts off so it doesn't freeze everything in there. So I've got this fan, a couple thermometers inside and out, and some programming and all that good stuff. But it's not doing me any good when the garage is 70 degrees. You can't cool stuff down. With snakes, it's bad. About 60 degrees is the worst temperature you can have a native snake because it's cool enough that they're not going to want to eat and digest food, but it's warm enough they're still burning some energy. So they're just going to lose weight, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Sweet Baldy wants to know, where in Texas are you?
I am in Granbury, which is southwest of Fort Worth, 35 miles or so, something like that. Fort Worth, next to Dallas. So we're
All right.
kind of outside the city limits. So I'm in the county, so I can have the snakes and all that, whatever I want, really.
Oh, so welcome in, everybody. We got Newburn in the house, Sweet Polly in the house, Overstocked Oscars, and Garcia Aquatics. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. It's always nice when Mama June's in the house. It's nice when Garcia's in the house. It's nice when all of you guys are in the house. It makes for a better live stream than, two people. Love the thumbnail for this stream. Well, thank you, Jesse. It's a little past your bedtime, isn't it, Jesse? He's the Mr. I'm in bed by like 8 o'clock.
I didn't even see the thumbnail. I'm too busy running around taking care of stuff to get on here. See if I can pull it up and look at it. I'm curious now.
It's a decent one.
Is it when you put together or AI help or?
I had a little help from AI.
Okay. It's kind of hard. Okay, yeah, I can see it small. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Sweet Paulie says he knows Granbury. My son is in
Burleson.
Burleson, yeah. I had to read that. My eyes kind of went cross-eyed.
Yeah, there's some weird names around here.
Yeah, I understand that.
Burleson's one of the towns I cover whenever I'm on call. I go there quite often and fix stuff that's broke.
So I know in the group chat you were saying something about it getting cold and you were worried about your outside setup. How was that doing?
That was last night. It did. It dropped down below freezing for, 10 hours, 10, 12 hours, something like that. But I went out there and looked. In fact, I went out and looked before I went to bed, and it wasn't really even like 35 degrees, so nothing to look at. Then I woke up about 3 a.m. for some reason, and I was like, man, I better go out there and check. So, yeah, I got up at 3 a.m., walk out there just to be sure I'm not, causing a major problem. Man, there's nothing going on. It's labeled freezing, but there's nothing, no ice anywhere. I'm like, okay. Go back to bed, get back up this morning. It's 20 degrees out this morning. And I was like, oh, man, I didn't check for several hours. It's about 8 o'clock now. Went outside and looked, and all I had was just a little bit of ice on the screen. The water goes through, a little bit of ice on the edge, which I knew that would happen. But I was afraid it would dam up a weird way and water would start running off the side of it and go, out of the tub. But it wasn't even anywhere near that. There was hardly anything at all. I mean, minuscule. And I was like, all right. That was only on the fry grow out. the bigger tubs, which has the bigger amount of water, it didn't do anything really. I mean, it just had a little tiny bit of ice around the edges where it splashed on the screen. The grate, but not a problem at all. So I think I'm going to be good until if it stays cold like that for it doesn't get above freezing for several days. And then I'm gonna start running the problems probably. But as long as it warms up during the daytime, below freezing, yeah, I'm not gonna have a problem because that 155 is up in the ground. That'll really help. Uh oh. Yeah. So that one of my sumps for the fried grow out is in the ground. That's a 55-gallon drum buried. I think it was 20 inches or so into the ground. So that's going to really get a nice heat sink there. So the water goes into that, warms up before it gets pumped out. So it's going to be hard for it to freeze any significant amount. Oh, your fish room heater went out Friday in the coldest of the year. Ooh, temps dropped down a little below. I fixed it. Tons of spawning happening as a result. Yeah, that can trigger stuff for sure. Um, that's one thing when he gets back. I think we might talk about some ways that to basically keep things going whenever the power goes out or heat goes out. Maybe some extra ways of finding some power. I made some power supplies and some ideas that are seem working pretty good. My weekend almost got totally destroyed. Our Friday night got messed up a little bit. I was telling Jim and stuff in our little chat that I was going to go to the Cowtown Ham Fest, which is a ham radio festival over in Fort Worth. And man, I was all gung ho for that. Got home and did my normal route, let the dogs out. They're all in my room. They're in crates, all four of them. Open the doors up one at a time, normal. They ran outside at their doggy door in the kitchen. I can hear them boom, 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 busting through the door. Nothing, no big deal. Wife's supposed to come home soon because she's going out of town. And so I was going to, help her pack up, say goodbye, and I was going to run over to the Ham Fest. Well, sit down for like 5-10 minutes. Next thing I know, my beagle comes running in and he jumps up beside me like he normally does, but he's just kind of standing weird. I'm going, normally he just throws himself against me. I think he was only out a couple minutes. Usually stays out for quite a while when I first let him out. So without really looking at him, I pet him and I realized he's shaking. And I'm like, what? So I started looking at him and realized, oh man, he's a sausage. He's blown all up. I keep my dogs the normal weight. I don't like them fat. I don't like them thin. But he's got the big chested, barrel chested beagle with the slope belly comes up in like he's supposed to look. He don't look like that anymore. He's round and he's actually blowed out wider than his chest by his stomach's out. I'm going like, oh, this is bad. You try to touch him, he can't sit down, he can't really lay down. I'm going like, you touch him, and he's like solid a rock. I'm going, oh, good Lord, what did he do now? Of course, it's my fault. I named him Loki, so he gets into everything. And he got in some candy that my wife had made, but it was just like sugar, butter, and I think cinnamon or something. Not cinnamon. It wasn't. It was a spearmint or peppermint. Peppermint. It was peppermint mixed all together. And she had thrown it away because it was left over from Christmas. And he got into that, but I don't think he had very much of it. So that must have messed his stomach up. But I wasn't sure. I thought maybe he had bloat or something, or when their stomach turns upside down, which is kind of not very common in a small dog. It can happen. Definitely can happen. But something like a Great Dane or any of the big breeds or the big chested, large breeds, it happens a lot in them. But still, I was like, oh man, this is not good. So luckily it's Friday night. And I'm going like, oh no, it's 5 o'clock on a Friday night. I'm going, this is not good because my vet's not open on the weekends. And you have to go to an emergency vet. And then that's like ching as soon as you walk in the door. So I hurried up and called my vet and they got me in. They're pretty close to me. And I work pretty tightly with them. They've done all kind of crazy stuff for me and I've done for them, including euthanizing a pelican for me once. That's a whole other story. But got him in there real quick and they x-rayed him. He said, nope, his stomach's where it's supposed to be. He's all bloated up. It looks like there's something kind of on the exit of his belly. He's got a little bit of something. Can't tell what it is. Doesn't look that big. And we're just giving some sub-Q fluids. Here's a shot for nausea and watching. Okay. By the time I got to the vet, though, I noticed that he was better. He was not quite as distended. It was more like he was even now instead of bloated all out. So by the time I got him back home, he seemed to be doing a whole lot better, running around, acting normal, but he just looked like a sausage. But then the next night he was fine. So the next morning, so Saturday morning I still went back to the Ham Fest because that was two-day deal. But he's fine now. I don't know. Dog's crazy.
Dogs get into some weird shit from time to time.
Yeah, I got 4 of them. So if I thought there was somebody threw something over the back fence, or because people do dumb stuff like that, trying to, for whatever reason, trying to get your dog sick. But I figured all 4 would have it. And if it was a disease, I thought all 4 of them would have it. But he's just a little shit. Man, he's like half cat. My wife left her purse on the back of the couch, and she had thrown, I don't know, it was some kind of a candy thing, but it didn't seem like the dog would want that. She threw in her purse and didn't zip the purse up. And overnight, I laid him out in the morning. I didn't realize it, but he went up on top of the back of the couch and got to it, pulled it out, and shredded it. If I leave a chair too close to the countertops and there's anything food related anywhere up there, bread, anything on the counters, he will eat it.
That brings up a funny story for me. So I had a bunch of bananas, like a 6 thing of bananas, and I had a pan of cornbread wrapped in cellophane or saran wrap and put inside of a Ziploc baggie. My dog took the bunch of bananas and the cornbread, ate it all. She was shitting a plastic bag out in the backyard.
Oh, jeez. This little dude, when he was younger, our house flooded out once. We had to take all the carpets out. So part of the carpets went in the backyard. The rest of it all went out front in the driveway. So the part was in the back where it had rained so hard, the ground was saturated. They stacked it up and it pushed it down into the dirt a little bit. Some of the carpets, when we cleaned it all up, we didn't notice there was still some carpet still kind of in the soil. And several months later, somehow he found it and decided to eat some of it. Just it came apart, like it came back long strings. He had ate some of that, and my wife freaks out and said, freaked they had a giant worm hanging out of him. Out there and looked, and he's got that carpet hanging out. I was like, oh no, because if it gets in a ball or something in there, he is screwed. I'm screwed. So I just got some gloves on and started pulling, and finally got it all out. It's crazy.
I watched her. She threw the plastic bag up. And then I went to go get a bag so I could get the plastic bag. And by the time I got back, it was gone. She ate the fucking bag again.
Twice.
Yes. I'm like, oh, come on. So I'm standing there and I'm watching her in the backyard. She is, because at this point in time, if she's struggling to go to the bathroom, I'm watching. You know what I mean? Every time she went to the bathroom, I watched. And I watched her poop out a plastic bag. She passed it. I got lucky because otherwise it would have been an intestinal surgery.
Yeah, that's expensive real fast.
And she's 12 years old. So at this point, no offense to her, and it would have been euthanasia.
Yeah. There's no point in putting them through that sometimes to get that old. What kind of dog was it?
Huh?
What kind of dog was it?
She is American Bulldog Pit Bull mix.
Okay.
Yeah, mine ate a stick of butter. She ate the butter container. Like I have one of those little silicone butter dishes. It's like an orange one. You can buy it on Amazon. It's like $9. She ate that fucking thing along with the butter. I mean, I don't know what her problem is. And it happened while I was in the hospital is when it started. And then when I got back home, it was still continuing. So, and then once she knew Daddy was home, it was a different story.
Yeah, crazy freaking dogs. Man, dogs have eaten so much stuff. They grab stuff, and the beagle used to grab stuff and take it in the backyard. Just random stuff. It was just like, the remote control. It would be anything laying around. It didn't have to be food or anything. Just pick it up, put it in one spot and build a backyard. So if you're looking for something, it's like, oh, geez, go look in the backyard. You back in the yard, there's that, right in the middle of the yard, not tore up or anything, just stashing it. I mean, for no reason.
She's a good dog. She really is. She's a great watchdog. So, I mean, she is probably one of the best dogs I've ever had.
That's cool.
And then she decided to take the bananas off the counter in front of me.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
But that didn't go over well for her.
It did not.
No. My black lab once got into, I had a pan, cast iron skillet on the stove that I had cooked bacon in. So I had a little grease in the bottom of it. There's probably a half inch of grease at least in the bottom of it. Just letting it push it to the back, letting it cool. And when I went back to go clean it, it was completely clean. But all the cups, the glasses, and plates and stuff were right in front of it. So there's all this stuff. There's like a whole bunch of stuff there. And somehow he got over top of that and licked that whole thing clean without making any noise or breaking anything. He knew he'd be in trouble if he got caught. I was like, oh, man, that's not going to be good. He's going to be having some serious diarrhea or something. But I didn't hurt him at all. He didn't care.
No, not at all.
It didn't phase him.
Bears 8 and 5 remotes. That's a lot of remote controls.
Jeez.
So when he farts, does it change the channel? If he barks, does the volume go up?
How's that work?
How's that work? If he sits down real hard, does it turn the SAP on? You know, I don't know, man. My other dog ate a sock. He actually ate a stuffed animal and a sock. And vet's like, you know, keep an eye on him. And, you know, if he struggles, bring him in. I'm outside in the yard, and this dude's walking around like he's in the poop position, but he's walking around because it's stuck. And I'm like, here we go. So what do I have to do? I got to go over and pull it out his butt.
Yeah.
But you don't want to yank. You want to just gently gently ease it out, because you pull on the intestines if it's stuck.
Yeah, you
The vet said be very easy. If it comes out, fine. If not, you're bringing it to the vet.
Yeah, you've got to be very careful of that. You know, intestines are pretty tough, but they have a limit. And depends on what the object is. Like in your case, the sock is at least soft. It's not going to cut it. But the carpet I had was real rough textured, and I was afraid that if you start pulling, it's going to start tearing, you know, intestines and stuff, man. I was like, But I just hold on to it and let him pull as he's trying to pull away from me. And I thought, well, he's going to stop if it hurts bad enough. So, and it finally came out. It took me about probably half an hour to keep pulling gently on it, let his body work on it for a little bit, let it relax and let it move. I was like, man, I don't want to take this little shit into the vet, man. And he got parvo. Like, man, I had him for a couple of weeks, and he ended up getting parvo. But I knew what to look for. As soon as I started seeing diarrhea and he getting a little bit tired, I was like, into the vet. Got him in there so fast that got him in on a Friday, like kind of like we did here. And then by Friday night, they said he was bouncing back already. He couldn't even tell he had parvo. Next day, he's fine. You never would know anything's wrong with him. But
that's wild.
You get him in fast. That's the key, man. You got to if you're paying attention to your dogs, you know your animals. Well, any animals in here. You know, I walk around and I see a fish that's not looking right. I mean, my wife is like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "No, something's wrong with that fish." And she goes, "It's swimming fine." No, it's not.
No, it's not.
And I don't know what it is. There's something wrong with it. Then kind of watch it. Next couple of days, it'll start doing the shimmy, and it's like, okay, something's wrong. Maybe it just got old, but something's up.
I got a friend who's black lab ate an entire pack of raw chicken breasts, packaging and all, and a loaf of bread, packaging and all.
Pass it, I guess.
I'm gonna say probably. You know, man, my girl cat, she ate, you know, like the little rubber, they're like cloth covered rubber hair ties that women use.
Oh yeah.
She ate 23 of them.
Jeez.
And was wondering why she wasn't eating, she wasn't doing anything, you know, normal. Take her to the vet. She's got a blockage. So it was like, I don't know, $2,000 later, I've got a knot of hair ties and a little square like foot for something, like little rubber foot that goes on the bottom of like a lamp or something to keep it from sliding around.
Yeah.
It was one of those. I have no idea where it came from. It's what they pulled out of my cat.
So, man.
So what do you got swimming in the tank behind you?
Behind me, let me see if I can slide over. See if you can make me big.
I'm trying to make you big, Daddy.
You made you big. Ooh.
I don't know how to swap. There. Oh, look at that. There we go.
Okay, there we go. So most of these, like this one here, they'll come over to me. These are red shiners mostly, and the ones that are plain color, I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but they're the females, and the ones that are red, they're the males, and they're not even colored up right now. This guy's kind of still partly colored up. He's not too bad looking, but these guys will get, man, they get so bright. They get a bright band of red and then a band of blue right behind it, and it's absolutely stunning. You can see these guys they're a pretty good schooling fish when they get scared. If you frighten them, they take off in a nice school. Well, they're kind of more of a shoaling fish. Then I've got a few. Let's see what else I got in here. I should have a blacktail shiner in here somewhere. And then I've got a bunch of, what do you call it? Florida flagfish.
Okay.
and I bred a bunch of those outside. Let's see that one back. That fish back there by himself. I don't know if you can see. Tell he's by himself back there. He's looking a little thin. I think he's getting old. But he's the one. That's one of the ones I can tell he's not doing so good. And I don't know where all the Florida flagfish are. Usually they're in the bottom. You know, they're scavenging stuff to the bottom. But those are a fun fish. And it's nice to have a nice big school like this. I need about, I don't know, about 50% more of them. It would be really cool. But they, I got these out of the Brazos River. And in the past, I've got them out of there, and they've always had anchorworm. So you got to start treating anchorworm. And I didn't know how to treat anchorworm for a long time. I kept looking up stuff. I even called to the vets, and nobody could tell me how to treat it. Only thing they knew is how to kill the eggs, and you had to actually manually remove the anchor worm. If you don't know what an anchor worm is, imagine like a small little plant in your fish. It's got like a couple of leaves sticking out of it. And whenever you spook it, it pulls itself back into this little stalk. That's an anchor worm. And it attaches itself into the fish, and it actually has a root that goes into the fish. So you actually have to grab with a pair of tweezers right by the fish and pull slowly, and you'll hear it pop as the whole root comes out. If you break it off, it'll just grow back. So you've got to pull it out, and then you got to treat that injury now, because now you have an open wound. It's probably going to get infected. So you have to treat that. So you have to go catch. I had to put them in a small container, a small tank, 20 gallon or so, and every day go through there and catch the ones that I could catch I could see an anchor worm on. And normally it would anchor itself right above the dorsal, right beside the dorsal fin, or by the caudal fin in the back. Is where I typically find them. And then of course, they're a schooling fish, so you're going, oh, there he is, and boom, you go into the school, and then it's gone. So you're in there with the net, trying to find the one that's got that little tiny worm on it, grab it out. So you're sitting there for like an hour every night pulling these worms off to get them cleaned up, and then eventually you have a nice clean bunch of fish, and it'll do good. But this I got lucky from. None of these had anchor worm. I lost 3 or 4 of them when I first brought them home. That's probably from stress. But then they're doing great. So this is a 120 gallon tank. So it's 5 feet long. I think it's 18 inches deep and 24 inches tall. So it fits perfect here in the living room. So I don't have a back on this because it's viewable from 360 degrees. It's kind of in the middle of the room.
Okay.
I mean, I totally love that, man. This is my favorite tank by far. I mean, I've never had a tank this cool. And I just threw a bunch of plants in it, threw some nice big rocks in it, and then I put some decent lights on top. They're cheaper lights, but they're better than the shop light things that I've been using. I wish I knew what the brand name were they on them. And you can't see it, but the way I mounted them, they're just a little thin shop light, little strip. So you can't just lay it on top of the aquariums; they fall over and all that kind of stuff. So what I did is I got a piece of gutter, cut the gutter. That's an old hack. You cut a piece of gutter off the right size. You mount it to the bottom of the gutter. Then you get the end caps for your gutter on it. Now you have basically a makeshift a hood for it. So I've got 2 of those lights on here. I was hoping they would do this, but I was worried at the same time that I'd get a lot of algae because this is a pretty bright tank. I mean, it's bright. So I was worried about that, but I put a bunch of plants in it right off the bat. And one thing I put in here that I don't have any more in here of is the guppy grass that I gave you.
Yes.
Guppy grass in there and the hornwort in there from some local hornwort that I found. And that stuff started growing like crazy. So when you first start a tank up, especially this one, it's dirted. So I've got Blackland Prairie soil in here, which is a very high nutrient soil in the bottom of here. Then I put sand from the local creek on top of it. And then this is decomposed granite on top of that. And I knew there'd be a lot of nutrients in the water, and I would probably get an algae bloom, probably turn pea green if I wasn't careful. So that's why I threw all those plants in there. And I had this thing stuffed full of plants, with not counting the ones that are planted here because they were still trying to go. And that kept it under control. So I didn't hardly get any algae at all. And then, of course, you put the Florida flagfish in there, and there's no problem at all now. Those flagfish really are great for sucking up algae, hair algae and stuff. Every once in a while I get a little bit of spot algae on the glass, but it's very light and it's easy to get rid of. I just got to scrape it off. I have to use a razor blade. I have one of the magnet scrapers. It doesn't do anything of that's green spot algae, but it's very light. And usually I can't even see it until I put a camera on it. Then it like glows at you. It's ridiculous. So actually, I hit it tonight real quick because there was a couple of spots of it on there. Yeah, it looked kind of bad.
So I got my wild caughts right next to my computer here on the side.
Yeah.
And I've noticed since the weather's changed, these dudes have been acting a little weird.
Yeah. It's that time of year, and they sense it. If you could, turn the temperature down and stuff in there too, that would really make them probably get slower and kind of calmer. And be better in the springtime when you warm it back up and get the daylight cycle going again. Man, they'll probably really brighten up, and man, the males will probably look incredible.
They are they're doing good. I'm gonna have to get some more of them though, because I did lose. It's a learning curve, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I did lose. I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, you're going to from stress, and they're probably gonna have parasites. I mean, when you get fish out of the wild, the odds of them not having parasites is pretty slim. It's possible, not likely. So you probably got something in them. And I didn't treat these, and because if they're not suffering in any way, why treat them? Because you could actually cause more problems trying to treat them. So if there ain't a problem, don't fix it.
Yeah,
they're
doing
losing
okay.
them.
I mean, they eat healthy, they swim. I've got a wave maker in here. They absolutely love the wave maker. It's actually in the middle of getting a water change as we speak.
That's what most natives. If you look at where you caught them from, especially when you're out there catching them, you can get an idea of how your tank needs to be set up, especially with water flow wise. Were they in the faster moving water, or were they in the still water? So then you kind of
moving water.
That's where these guys were at too. They were in the riffles. So that's why I've got an FX4 on here blowing a lot of water around. So they love sitting in that current. If I could dump like a half a can of food in here, man, they would eat it all. They're just pigs. I don't know about your natives, but my natives, they eat way more food than the tropicals do. I mean, it's probably 5 or 6 times the food. I mean, I almost can't overfeed this tank. It's ridiculous amount of foods I'm putting in there, and I'm not having any kind of problems.
I'm actually not having any problems with them. I'm just having, I said a few of them just decided they wanted to up and die. That was all.
Was it recently they died, or when you first got them?
Do what?
You said there's some died. Was it recently, or just when you first got them?
They've settled down, but I've had a few die over the course of since when I got them to now.
And you don't know how old they are either. You don't know the age of them either. So
correct.
Some of those are going to be aging out, and they don't live a long time. They're not long-lived fish, so they're probably just aging out.
That is very possible.
And there's not much you can do about that. I like when I catch the younger ones. I catch a bunch of young fish. I'm like, oh man, all right, that's going to be around a little longer. These are kind of crazy. They're in really shallow water, really fast-moving riffles, and all I was doing to catch most of them was I take my net and I'd stick it. I come up like 90 degrees to where I was going to be looking for them in these riffles, and I kind of would go through first. I just flush them out first, see where they went, what routes they take. So if you're looking for a bottleneck, so there's an area where there's a bunch of rocks together and they're coming in, coming down to an area like this, and then they're going out. Then you can stick your net right there in between those rocks, and then as you're walking up, you stick the net there, and then you come up, 90 degrees to them and scare them, and then they're going to go right down into your net. Especially the water's going this direction, you can get the water holding your net open, and then as you're coming up, you flush them right into your net and you lift up. You got to be quick at it. You got to time it right, because they'll go in there, hit that net, and come right back out. They're not stupid. But as soon as you see them hitting that, going into the net, you start reacting, because it's just boom, pull them up. That's how I was catching most of mine, because you couldn't swat and catch them in that shallow area with all the rocks. There was too much. You had to kind of flush them into your net.
I should be able to show them to you.
I think my lights are going to start kicking off. I can throw them back on. Let's see. Yeah, it's 9:30.
Oh, I don't know if I have enough. Come on, fucker, get over there. Yeah, I don't have enough reach on my camera. So where you can stand, but you can see all of your guppy grass.
Oh yeah, that stuff's awesome.
It is.
It's awesome to a fault.
Man, it once it gets to growing, it's over with. I mean, it's legit.
I told you when you got it. I was like, these things are pretty awesome. I got it from the native waterway here, so that's why it does so well. Uh, because it's kind of adapted to my water, and your water must be just as good. I'll turn some of these lights back on. It's gonna get dark in here real fast if I don't. There we go. I like having these smart timers. It's pretty cool to be able to walk into a room and
Just turn them on.
yeah, and just
Yeah.
using your voice, everything comes on. I don't want to say it because everybody's tanks will be going off in their houses and
Like Alexa, turn off fish tanks.
yeah.
Sorry, I
Half
didn't
people
find
like,
a group
you know.
or device named fish tanks.
Near my, I didn't
Yeah,
find a
sorry.
device named fish tanks.
She didn't like that idea.
Yeah.
So somebody said earlier today they lost their heater in their house, which it was cold, the coldest part of the year so far. That would suck.
Somebody decided to take it upon themselves to go down the rabbit hole of looking how to remove anchor worms from fish and got grossed out by it.
Yeah, I can see that. It's pretty crazy. It's like these little plant things living in on your fish, and you pull them out of it. You unroot them from your plant. I mean, from your fish. You hear it pop. It's just kind of like, oh man, if you don't hear that little pop, you know you didn't get it right. You have to treat that one again.
So this is a aquariums maintained by Andy 8408. Welcome in.
Hey,
Welcome in, new local Austin. Appreciate everybody being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I want to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark.
where you at now? I don't know.
883.
Not bad.
And the new channel, believe it or not, I'm at 19.
19 subscribers, or it should be
19
1900.
subscribers. 19 subscribers. It should be a lot more than that. Considering the fact that the last short that I put up has already got like 5,000 views and climbing. So
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you're going to do with that.
it's coming.
You almost can't put anything out that's going to be bad as long as the audio's good and the video's okay. You know, I mean, you're going to get it. So you just need to put some stuff out there and just go for it.
You know, I put that video out with the jack.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, using the jack stand. And the first comment on it was about the Harbor Freight jack, and people were missing what I was going for.
Yeah.
Don't trust your life to a 15-cent seal inside of a hydraulic cylinder on any jack. I don't care if it's Snap-on, Matco, Mac, Craftsman. I don't care what it is. Don't trust your life to a 15-cent seal, because that seal is basically holding all of that pressure. Now, I understand some people are like, oh, I usually slide the rim underneath of it. Cool. That'll work. That will save you in a pinch. Depends on the rim. A steel rim is going to save you a lot more than an aluminum will. You know what I mean? Because it'll hold it for a minute, but the aluminum will hold. It will buckle.
Yeah, and it still could be dangerous, though. It's still not
can be
nearly the
dangerous.
same as
I was
a kid, man, and I will not ever do that. You know, I don't even stick my hand in my car without there being a jack stand on it. There ain't no way.
I was a young man. I was slightly, ignorant. I'm invincible when you're young. You know what I mean? You're young and invincible. I'm working on a Volvo. I'm replacing the turbo, and I'm climbing out from underneath the Volvo, and the jack gave loose as I'm climbing out.
Oh,
Just as I slid out, it got my leg, but the way it went down, it landed on the jack, and the jack held it up high enough to where it didn't get my leg. Now, I was sitting there as that's happening, and I'm sliding out, and I'm hearing in the back of my head, my dad, never get underneath of a car, boy, without a jack stand. I'm like, it's just an old wise tale. You know what I mean? Yeah, no. Put a jack stand under.
it's designed to hold 5 tons, man. This will be fine.
Oh,
That
jack holds 6,000 pounds, man. It'll hold that little car up. Yeah,
I
okay.
use it all the time. Never had a problem. What are you talking
So
about?
that seal just says nope.
Yeah, you
Because
don't
the
know
car
what's
can
going.
go from here to here like that.
And realistically, they're all going to give out eventually. I mean, they're all going to
Yeah.
get old, and you just don't know when. So, man,
I had a 20-year-old aluminum Duralast racing jack that I got from AutoZone. I think worked for everything until it didn't. One day I'm jacking up. I'm jacking up a Honda Civic, and you can see the car go up, come back down, go up, come back down, go up, come back down. I'm like, all right, you've reached the end of your life. I'm like, well, I could be, the guy that I am, being a cheap ass. That's the Jew in me. I could take it apart, rebuild it, you know what I mean, and use it for 10 more years. Or I can just stop being a Jew and buy a new jack. So I
Yeah,
bought a new jack.
I fall in that same trap. I like to fix stuff. I hate buying new, and if I can fix it, but
If I
sometimes you
can
just
fix
gotta.
it, I'm going to fix it. But
Yeah, but
I
sometimes
have
it's
my
just not
use
worth
of
it. Yeah, exactly. It's just not worth it. I always, whenever I'm jacking the car up, after I jack it up, I put the jack stands on it, lower it down, just so the full weight's on the jack stands. Then I give it maybe a quarter pump, just for a little bit of weight on that. It's
just to
just
hold it.
extra. Yeah, the jack stands are still holding at 90% of it, but just in case I do something stupid and kick a jack stand out by accident, and boom, it's still got something there. I get one more level of protection. That just
And
scares the hell out of me on the vehicle, especially when you're in there cranking stuff
oh, absolutely.
hard. And man, sometimes I'm like, ooh, is this a good idea? I mean, let me get out of under here, see if I can reach it from out here and put all that, force on it, just in case.
I'm
Never had
laying
close
underneath
calls,
the,
but man,
I'm laying underneath the cars in the rust belt, so everything up here is even tighter.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
rusted, it's seized. So I mean,
That's why I learned how to do it.
yeah,
Yeah. Oof.
shorts are getting more views these days. They are, except for some reason, the last 5 shorts that I've put out on Happy Place Aquatics have got shit. It's like, really, you guys don't want to see some pretty cool iced up shit? I mean, a frozen lake, dude. And the way that I was presenting it, it was actually awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. And you know what's weird, man? So I reached out to a couple of companies. Well, a couple, I'd say 40. I reached out to 40 different companies, and one of them got back to me, and they are going to sponsor the channel.
Cool. Your other channel, why don't you plug it?
Huh?
Why don't you plug your channel, your other channel?
Let's do it.
You keep mentioning this other channel, and you've never even said the name yet.
We'll just show it then.
Yeah, it is cool. I like watching those because I usually learn something small in it, even if the overall thing I don't learn anything from because I know it all. There usually might be just that one little tip in there, and it's like, oh, I never thought of that before. That'll save me some time.
Here's the other channel. We will put the link. Oh, what the hell? We will put the link in the description here, and you guys can look at it. But that is where I will be showing on how to work on vehicles.
And I love that logo.
It is actually an awesome logo. And the video I can't really play it with audio. Actually, I should be able to. It's my channel, so I own the rights to this video. If YouTube doesn't like it, I don't care. From there to there. Did you see she's on a jack? There we go. She went from there to there, guys. Word of advice: you're working on your car. Okay, yeah, I've got the jack underneath of it. The jack is just touching the frame, but never ever work on a car without a jack stand. Don't trust your life to a 15-cent seal and a jack. That's a Pittsburgh jack, so it's Harbor Freight special. So here we go. So there you see. Did you see she's on a jack? That is the she went from there to there, guys. That's the channel. There's other videos on there. I mean, I have people look at me and they're like, oh, well, you're this old. Well, I'm gonna put it to you this way. My dad owned a shop when I was a kid. I've been working on cars since I was a kid. I've been at 8 years old, I was doing brakes on the back of a Fleetwood Cadillac at 8. And if you know anything about Fleetwood Cadillacs from back in the day, they're drum brakes. Drum brakes are some of the hardest brakes to do. Those springs are stiff. And you know what I mean? It's me being an 8-year-old kid doing brakes on the back of a Cadillac.
You're trying to get them on there and you can't get it right. But when it goes, it's like, boom, you got it. But till that point, you're going, I'm not sure it's right. And I hate them.
Yes, I've been doing automotive since I was a kid. It's nothing that I haven't done. There's not really much on a car that I haven't done. I've rebuilt engines, differentials, transmissions. I've rebuilt whole cars. I've welded frames together. I've put frames under cars. I've made every line on a car. I've had every fluid from a vehicle either in my face, in my ears, my nose, my mouth. I mean, and then the problem with me is when I'm doing something like that, I don't think of recording it.
Right. You
Or
want
if
to
I
get it
don't
done.
record it, you got me dropping F-bombs left and right. I'm a mechanic. I'm not a priest. You're gonna hear some swearing. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just what it is. The drum brake tool is awesome. There's multiple ones of it though.
Oh yeah, you got to cover them.
So, and what people don't understand is a mechanic is. I'm basically this is going to sound really stupid. I don't want to sound arrogant or cocky. I'm basically a car doctor. The difference between me and a real doctor is my patient doesn't talk. I have to figure it out. I said that to a doctor one time, and he got real mad at me. I said, let me break it down for you, doc. I said the anatomy of the human body hasn't changed since the beginning of time. You know what I mean? The anatomy of the human body has been the same, has it or has it not?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah,
As long as you've been around, that's for sure.
As long as we've been around.
You got abnormalities, but that doesn't count.
Yeah. Cars change every 6 months. I have to re-up my knowledge every 6 months on something new. And then if you get into a hybrid, I don't even want to go there. Or electric vehicles, it's somewhere else I don't want to go. It's just I have to know everything that there is about that vehicle. I don't need to know specifications and bolts and nuts and shit like that. Don't need to know sizes, but I need to know how every system works, what wiring is where, what it does, what it controls. I need to know what module is talking to what module, because believe it or not, everything in your car now is a module. Your radio, your window switch, your turn signal switch is a module, for God's sake. Your mirror is a module. Everything talks to everything, and if one thing goes down in that network, it can kill the whole vehicle. And people don't understand that. Oh, just plug your scan tool in, it'll tell you what's wrong with it. No, it doesn't. It gives you a general direction of where to go. It doesn't tell you exactly where to go. You don't plug it in. It says, oh, your bank 2 sensor 2 oxygen sensor is bad. No, it says your voltage is bad, or it's inactive, or it's not reading properly. It doesn't tell you that it is in fact faulty. It's not how it works.
Yeah, it could be getting the faulty readings because of something else is causing that.
Correct. It could be a plugged up exhaust. I've had an oxygen sensor code fool me by its exhaust leak. The exhaust was leaking in front of the oxygen sensor, and it wasn't a lot. It was like a pinhole. You couldn't even hear it.
Yeah.
And the only way I found it was plugging the exhaust in the back and smoking the whole exhaust system. And then I found that little pinhole. That's how sensitive these new cars are.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to work on for sure. The only thing that really baffles me on cars is automatic transmissions. Those things look like, I've done some complicated stuff, but every time I watch videos and stuff, it's like tearing the things apart. I'm going like, man, if I was going to do that, I need some training. I can figure it out, I'm sure, but starting with zero knowledge on it, man, I've got training, some kind of training on everything else, all the aviation school stuff. Even engines and stuff I understand. Even a jet engine I understand somewhat, but automatic transmission, that's magic.
Yeah. The part of the automatic transmission that's magic is the torque converter. So you got to figure out how it takes the rotation of the engine and turns it into where it can spin the transmission to where it's not spinning at the same RPM as the engine.
It's not coupled.
Yeah, it's not coupled.
Right, it's
decoupled. Basically, it has like a transmission itself. Like it has the clutch disc. It has those inside of the torque converter, but it also has a stator. And the stator converts it to a different form of energy through it. So the torque converter is spinning at the RPM of the engine, but it turns it down into, it converts spin to torque into the engine.
It's much more complicated, but basically it's the clutch on a manual transmission. It's a very complicated clutch.
Very.
It decouples it, marries it all up, and
yep.
It
does it automatically. That way you don't have to stomp a clutch pedal.
Yeah.
I'm an A&P guy. What is an A&P guy?
Airframe and power plant. That's power plant is like the engines, and A is airframe. So I went to A school, all the airframe stuff. I didn't actually go through school for the power plant, so I don't have any training on actually tearing apart engines or jet or standard engine diesels, anything like that. But we worked on all the stuff that hooks to it. So all the pumps and all the alternators and all that kind of stuff. And on a general aviation aircraft, small aircraft, the alternator can be the exact same alternator that goes on the car. It just goes off the assembly line. It goes on further testing down the line. And the ones that can pass those tests go to the aircraft field. The ones that don't pass it go back to the automotive stuff. That's the only difference in them. So we worked on automotive alternators that bolt onto a aircraft. The same exact thing, which I was blown away when I learned that. I was like, but it makes sense because it's the same thing. It does the same purpose, and it lasts for a long time. I mean, it's not like they're a part that fails all the time. So why reinvent the wheel when you got something that works? You just do a little more testing on it, make sure it's even better, the best of the best. Hey, it works great.
I just put something kind of goofy in the chat. The Sweet Paulie says it's all he can do to check the blinker fluid and grease the lug nuts. Well, I want to know if you torque that muffler bearing monthly. You got to adjust the conduiter valve. I understand that. But if your flux capacitor isn't fluxing properly, your dashboard gasket is going to leak and it's going to cause a whistle on a stator, and it's going to be all bad. Your turbo encapsulator will not capulate no more.
If you got aircraft, make sure you have plenty of prop wash and flat line.
Have prop wash. I know exactly what prop wash is.
And flat line.
Yes. But I dabble in a lot of things, and that channel is going to be me rebuilding things. That's why it's called Not Total Garage. Now it could be something as stupid as a lawnmower.
Hey, I got a lawnmower. I had a friend kid down the road from me. We were in high school. He would stay up all night long and build a lawnmower engine. He would start off. I'd leave his house in the afternoon because I had to go back home like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. He would be going out to his shed, pulling out an engine block, pulling out pistons, pulling out every single part he needed from all the parts bins. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm going to build this engine tomorrow. I was like, what? Yeah, I'm going to have this thing running about a morning. Let's come back tomorrow morning. You'll see. I get back in the morning, he'd be finishing that sucker up. I'm going like, dang, dude. You know what you're doing. And lawnmower engine is not exactly super complicated, but just to go into a whole room, a shed just full of spare parts everywhere and know what goes going to work and what's not and everything, I thought it was pretty impressive. And have a sucker working in my morning.
If I can get that channel to take off like I want it to, ultimately the goal is for me to stop doing what I'm doing as a profession and do it for me. I'm tired of making somebody else money. It's my turn. It's time for me to use my knowledge for me, to make me money, to make sure that I can take care of myself. That's what I'm going for. I want to be able to not have a boss. And if I get mad at myself, I should be able to tell myself to go the fuck home and then walk inside my house. That's what I'm going for. I have been doing this for so long. I've made people so much money, and I've heard them complain about it. Apparently $1.6 million for a 3-bay shop last year wasn't enough money. You have 3 technicians. You don't have to work. You made $1.6 million. Minus your overhead, you probably walked away with $700,000.
Must be nice.
I didn't make him enough money. And then when it was raise time, I got shafted. I got my bonus taken away from me.
Remember that, yeah.
Yeah, lost my position, lost my bonus. But I got a raise. I got $1 raise, so that made everything better. $47 a week ain't shit. $47.50 a week ain't shit. Ooh. It was enough to put me in another tax bracket where they take more money from me.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget, don't be afraid to put some stuff that's real simple. Things like the jack stand thing. That's not exactly a complicated thing, but it can help a lot of people. And that's the kind of things that the normal, shade tree mechanic can really use.
I'm going to show people the proper way to use tools that I have. Like a common everyday tool.
Yeah.
Like a brake line tool that I used in the video that I did to brake line. That is an expensive tool. Don't get me wrong. It's a $700 tool.
I don't remember seeing that video. I must not have popped up.
It's not Total Garage. It's the long form. It's like 15 minutes.
Okay. I'll watch that. I didn't see it.
I've been doing this long enough to where I'm able to do what I need to do. I've made as high as $5,000 a month extra in my garage before. You know what I mean? Just me working on friggin' people's Joe Blow's car.
I know something you can do.
I tell everybody is I don't buy parts. You want me to fix your car? You're buying the parts. I'm supplying the labor. That's it. You can't go to a Midas. You can't go to a Firestone. Or up here we have a place called Conrad's. You can't go to none of these places like that or a dealership and take your own parts and expect them to install them because they won't. I will. I don't give a shit. There ain't no warranty. You get the taillight guarantee. When I don't see your taillights no more, your warranty's over.
And one thing I like to see you do is show how to take off and put back on like door panels, all the paneling stuff. Because every time I do that, it's a pain in the ass. I don't ever get it back right. It seems like it's always kind of loose a little bit or whatever. I'm doing something wrong. It seems real simple, but and again, I don't have the right tools. You know, I'm screwdriver and whatever I can find to shove in there type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not the right tools. But of course, I'm a cheap ass, so don't want to spend money on tools, but I know better. I 100% know better. And every time I buy a tool, I'm going, why did I do this a long time ago? You know, or sometimes I don't even know a tool existed. And I'm going like, when I find it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm missing this my whole life.
I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I tell people I probably have $300,000 or $400,000 in tools.
Yeah.
If not more.
And when I started seeing you selling tools, I know your life got real bad.
I ain't selling tools.
That's my point. That's my point. If I see you doing that, it means you're vending things. you got the critical. I mean, what do you call it? A fatal disease or something.
Yes, I would be dying if I was selling my tools off.
That's what I've told my friends too. If you see me selling any other little small little dinky stuff, you started seeing me selling tool off, things got bad for me quick because that's how I can make some money and fix stuff. That's how you get good at fixing things by not having any money, being poor, and doing it yourself. It's the only way it's going to get done. You can't afford it.
I grew up poor. That's why I'm good at fixing things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, man, I've built half this shit in my fish room.
Yeah, just do it.
Toting almost 3,000 pounds? 2x6s, lag bolts and screws. I mean, you've got to be resourceful. And I think that's just a mechanical minded in me. I want to know how something works. I'm taking it apart. I'm going to figure it out.
Like this.
That is badass, dude.
Because I don't want to spend jackery, the crazy amount of money. This thing's got a 15 amp hour battery in it, a little LiPo battery that I can drain down. And this thing, I got all the other parts and stuff in there. I got the charger and a, what do you call it, inverter, so I can get DC power out of it. It's just got a battery in there, a LiPo battery in there, and wire it up. It's no big deal. It's pretty easy to do. Save yourself a freaking ton of money. And I got this thing set up. I can do all kind of cool stuff with it. I originally did it for we're doing fish shows and reptile shows too for the DF3 Herp Society. The venues started charging you for power. They were charging $100 for a weekend to be able to hook up power. And I'm like, I'm not using that much power, so this is ridiculous. I just had a couple of they're like fans. They're like little fan things that spin around and have the 3D logos and stuff. I had some of those and a couple other little things. So I started doing the math on it, going like, well, I don't need that much power, so I'll go buy me. I went and bought a jackery, one of the 500 ones, but it was on sale. It was like $250. So that's 2.5 times I use it out there. I paid for itself, and I still got something I can use to keep my fish room running. Or for now, I got the ham radio stuff, so now I can plug a ham radio into it, whatever I want to do with it. So you got an air pump. I figured out too. I think it'll run my air pump that pumps my whole system. I think it'll run it for 16 hours. I think is what I figured out. And so I've got the one I just made. I could take that one out, hook it to a solar panel outside, which I've got a solar panel. I just bought the adapters and stuff for it. Hook it to my 100-watt solar panel outside during the daytime, charge that sucker up, bring it in, and charge up my jackery while it's still sitting there running my pump. So I don't have to run out of power. As long as there's sun outside, it's not completely overcast or anything, then I can keep recharging it from using that. So I don't have to ever pull it down. Or I could swap it over to the other one and then take that one outside, hook it to the solar panel, whatever I need to do. So I shouldn't run out of power. So I think that's going to be real helpful.
I got a question for you, Mark.
Yeah.
Were you around when I had to remove all of the carpets that were in my basement when my basement flooded?
No, I kept just about that time is when I popped in the scene. So yeah, you kind of talked about that. Of course, I don't have any carpets right now in my place because the whole house flooded out. So I could totally understand.
So
Yeah, it was around too. Yeah, you had a leak or something, didn't you?
no, I had we got so much rain it went over the block.
Okay, I do remember that now. Actually,
And a lot of people would have been draining tanks, taking everything down. You're not spamming my chat. I don't care. If it gets too bad, I can delete it. Leverage is
somebody's that's who is it? Aquarium maintained by whatever.
by Andy.
Yeah, that's his ham radio in 73. See, he made a mistake. I'm going to call him out on it. He put 73s. The 73 is a ham radio thing. It's oh shoot, what is it? What is it? I can't remember exactly the term all of a sudden. What blank? But it has an S on the end of it. So you throw an S on the end of it too. It's kind of weird. But yeah, he's a ham guy. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were talking about your house flood.
I was having that issue. The carpets were wet down here, and it actually started to smell. And it had only been like 20 hours since it flooded. And I was trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to lift a 40-gallon breeder and a 75-gallon full of water. Introducing the Harbor Freight Fry Bar. This wonderful piece of machinery built by Pittsburgh, which is just pretty cheap, believe it or not. Didn't bend, as you can see. And it successfully lifted up the corner to where I could jam wood underneath of it, so where I could move the carpet out from underneath of it.
That's all you need.
And I did it all by myself.
Yep. Pretty cool.
So, Mark, you know the struggles I had last year. No doubt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're doing pretty good for all the struggles. You still got a smile on your face sometimes.
You know, I've had fish die. I've lost fish to tanks of fish that were quite expensive. But the flooding down here actually was probably the biggest tragedy in the fish room of the year. Now, the biggest tragedy coming is going to be the closing down of the fish room.
Yeah.
I've got news on that, and that will be shared between me and you when this is all over.
Okay.
I can't make it public yet, but you'll hear. I'm gonna still. I got to shut it down. We know this. But never fear. 2.0 is coming.
Right. Yeah. It could be better.
2.0 is going to be more efficient, bigger, better, and it's going to have less tanks. How can it be bigger, better, and badder with less tanks? Because I'm going to do it for me this time. I'm not doing it for YouTube fame. I'm getting my wall root back. That is happening. Dude, I have lost. Oh, my God. All right. My holy grail fish is wall root. Ugliest wall root apicanthoids at that. They're the ugliest fish you've ever seen. When they're about this big, they're cute. They look like little Grinch fish. And then all of a sudden, they blow up. But for some reason, I can't keep them alive. I lost an entire tank to velvet. And then I bought like 8 or 10 more. And I had 4 of them in my 125 with my my Akara. Akara are peaceful fish. Not these motherfuckers.
Sometimes
They killed them. They ganged up on them and killed them. So
I don't know much about those fish, so
they're the poor man's discus.
okay.
Like the discus, they feed their young off of their slime coat. There's only 3 fish types in the world. That's 2 of them. I can't think of the third one.
Well, I didn't know that, so I learned something today. So good day.
They're just awesome looking fish. Jesus Christ, stop beating up my freaking Severin. I think I'm going to have to teach Rusty a lesson. I thought Rusty was the one getting deboed. Apparently it's Rusty that's fighting everybody.
Ooh.
Rusty is about to end up in the 240. He's about to be the smallest fish in the 240.
That changes attitudes. Unless he's just that badass.
He's that big. Literally that big.
Yeah, yeah.
He will be the smallest fish in this tank. Right now, it's the Jack Dempsey over here in the corner.
thought the Severums were a poor man's discus. I thought it was the sunfish, especially the long-eared sunfish, were the poor man's discus.
No, believe it or not, the poor man's discus is, in fact, the walrus. They are cheaper than discus. They are the same keep as discus. They have the same temperament as discus, except for slightly more peaceful. And they're ugly as shit. I mean, ugly.
I have to look them up if I can figure out how to spell it.
I'll show you right now.
Okay. You're talking about your fish getting velvet and stuff. It reminded me that there is a company here in Dallas area. And I'm sure there's more than just that one company that can do it with a quick swab. They can run some tests. So if you think you have, you're not sure if you have velvet or if you have what's the other one with the white spots that everybody gets? It's the ick.
Ick.
Yeah, you can do a real quick swab, send it to them. Their turnaround's like a day, and you can tell exactly what you got.
There's your wall root.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen those before, but
oh, dude, they're ugly.
I don't know. I don't think they're that ugly.
Oh, they're ugly to me.
I
love them though. There's 3 types: discus, walrus, and chromats.
Okay.
Green chromat.
Thanks, sweet Polly.
Looks like another walrus.
Yeah, kind of.
So, you got a gold spotted Severum with issues. What else is in the tank? Was my question. He's killed some PA tetras and chased my green Severum around nonstop. Had to move him to his own 75. You're gonna have to find something that's bigger and badder than him. I hate to put it that way. Or he's gonna end up by himself. Could be a food aggression thing too, believe it or not. Severums are weird, man. Like the Severums I have in here, they are my oldest Severums right now. And they are that big. Severums typically don't get that big. I've seen them the size of a saucer. What is your problem? I'm about to beat that fish's ass. Everybody wants to know like the size of this fish. Everybody thinks this Oscar is small.
I didn't. It looks pretty freaking big to me.
He's 16 inches long.
I said it looks way bigger longer in your head.
He's 16 inches long. He's about 5.5 inches tall. I mean, he's a big boy. He started out like a little over an inch when I got him.
That's pretty cool.
She's full grown. She's got a crooked face. She's just had a rough life, but she's grown a lot since I put her in this 240.
What's the oldest fish you've got?
My 2 Severums. They're 5 years old. My oldest Severum died. It was almost 10.
I was given a yo-yo loach that was, I think they said it was 14 years old, but that was like 2 or 3 years ago. And that sucker's like 6 inches long.
That's a big yo-yo loach.
Yeah, he's huge. He's old too. They were afraid that he was going to die in the move when they transferred him to me. That was 2 or 3 years ago. That thing's fine. I moved him several times. He's in a 150-gallon tank right now, causing hell with everything. He's a jerk.
Yeah. I've also got a Jaguar in here. I've got a Red Tiger Moto in here. 2 Severums. They're both green Severums. The Jack Dempsey, a wild-caught Oscar, and the other 2 Oscars, which are back there throwing down.
Oh, they're kissing. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, that's them fighting. I mean, dude, he is like 3 inches thick this way.
Yeah, he looks pretty healthy.
I mean, he's a monster. He don't care my hands there. He's used to me. I'm trying to get the severums to come out. They're right here. There's one here and one back there. Yeah, they're the oldest fish I have. I've had them for a while. Before that, my oldest one was a fancy fantail goldfish. She was 13.
Pretty good.
I buried her in the backyard. She's in the pet cemetery.
Hmm.
And Oscar's just a baby. That Oscar is far from a baby, June. Rusty, I think, is going to be a big bastard too, because he's growing kind of quick. The meanest fish I have is in a tank over here by itself.
Probably where it should be.
He goes by Noisy.
Ah, yeah.
It's my Midas cichlid. Noisy is a bastard. He said they're going to kiss. I can feel it. They ain't going to kiss. They're going to fight. That's his tank. I mean, here you go. He's sideways.
He's posing for you.
Man, you've been around here forever. I got him right after my first hip replacement. When I was able to get out, I went to the fish store and I picked him up. I paid $35 for that Oscar.
We got a big fish expo coming up here in March, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty big one. This is the one that keeps getting bigger and bigger. This one they moved to a pretty big facility, and they sold out the one section of it, so they had to add another section on. So it's going to be pretty big. I've got a 10 by 20 foot booth that I'm going to be running. Trying to figure out how we're going to lay it out. Usually get like a 10 by 10. I think last time I had like a 10 by 12 or something like that. This is going to be a 10 by 20, but we were always crowded before, so we're going to have plenty of room to spread out. I got to figure out how we're going to lay it out. It's a big booth space. We're going to take full advantage of it.
I've got two more Oscars over here.
So you're saying you have a problem with Oscars?
She's in the back corner over here, hiding. And then the other one is right there. And then I have Rusty in the 125, and then I have two lemons upstairs, which are Wang Wang and Bob.
So how many
My lemons are male and female. They've laid eggs quite a few times. And June said, okay, he is big. Yes, June, he is big. He's a monster. I had a tape measure down here. How long? Hold on. That way I'm not measuring in guy inches. You know what I mean? Because that's 8 inches.
Right.
That sign is 16 inches. He is every bit to right here on that sign.
Nice.
That doesn't work.
No, perspective gets off. Got a lot of forced perspective stuff going on.
I've had him in my hand too. He'll eat out of my hand. He's a big bastard. He'll come right up and eat out of my hand. He's used to me. I mean, I've taken care of him since he was little. He used to be over in the corner in my 50-gallon tank that used to be over there. Man, my whole fish room has changed over the last 3 years. I've added
like a typical fish keeper.
I've added at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tanks down here since then, and this side. And then I added a whole other side over there. I completely redid it.
I've got too many tanks right now. I got to start consolidating. And my wife kind of kept saying, "Hey, you can put another rack right here." I'm going, "No, I can't. I won't fit there." And then, of course, here I am and start doing a little math in my head. Next thing you know, there's a rack there. She kept doing that, and I'm going like, "Okay, I don't have time. I can't do this." She keep getting my head and go, "Okay, well, maybe I can put one there." Now it's become more of a chore. And I'm going, "Okay, that's just when I got to start backing off." when it starts to become more work. So tomorrow we're going to be spending the day moving fish around, consolidating some stuff down. I don't know if I'm going to turn any tanks down because it's really nice to have tanks up and running in case you have a bunch of fry or something you need to move it into, or your buddy says, "Hey, I got some fish I got to get rid of now because whatever happened, or a tank busted. I need somebody to throw these." And, okay, I got tanks. So I
Yeah.
probably won't turn the tanks down, but I won't be feeding them every day. It's the more what we're caring for them, is let them sit there and stew, do their thing. Nothing in it.
I definitely want to talk to you about getting some fish from you.
Okay. Well, you're about ready to turn down your fish tank, your fish room. So,
I still have a dedicated tank for that.
okay. I thought you were kind of in the pause mode.
No, by the time that happens, it'll be warmer outside by then.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to be shooting fish or anything right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I can. I've done it with no problems, and I don't like using heaters. That's just kind of, I'm weird about that, but I think there's better ways of doing it because the heater doesn't make sense to me a lot of times, especially if I'm sending something north because it's warm here. I put a heater in it, it overheats the container here. Then as it goes north, the heat pack, even a 72-hour heat pack, may not have the heating capacity it needs by the time it gets north where it's cold. So I've got the worst of both worlds.
Yep.
Now, if I lived in the north, sending it to the south, that would make a lot more sense because then you keep it warm when you need it warm and let it, the little 36-hour pack or something, let it warm up when it gets to where it's going. But for me, I just put extra water in everything, and not for the keeping the fish healthy. It's just mass, the thermal mass, and then I even sometimes put a cold pack of all things in the tank in the wintertime in a box, but I don't heat or cool. It's room temperature heating pack, cold pack. And that cold pack will add thermal mass there, so it takes a little more energy for that to change temperature. So it'll buffer the temperature swings a little bit for me because it's not gonna keep it warm all the way there. I'm not even considering that. I just don't want it when someone lays it on a dock somewhere for 30 minutes or an hour. I don't want that temperature to plummet. I want it to kind of slowly start, kind of level that out a little bit. That's what I'm shooting for. Or if it's on the truck out to your house and it's unheated truck or whatever, or even on cooled truck, even if it works in the wintertime, summer, it'll kind of like hopefully level that out. Those big peaks and valleys leveled out a little bit. That more mass in there. Cost me a little more money in shipping, but I think it's worth it. And I've not had much of a problem.
Man, I've got one big ass tank that I don't really want to have a heater in, but the only reason why I have it in there is because there's a pleco in it.
I don't have heaters on plecos.
Mine's a common sailfin.
Okay.
The tank is 72 degrees.
Yeah, we have common plecos right here on San Marcos River in Texas here, and it gets cold. So I don't know if it stays somewhat warm because the water underneath, comes from deep at the big springs where it comes from. But I don't know, man. I hate to say for sure because I'm not an expert on that, but man, it doesn't seem like you would need it.
He's in 72 degree water right now. It's in my 300-gallon pond. I mean, dude's a monster, huh?
You said it's heated, so how cold would it get without heat?
Probably in the mid 60s.
Man, see, I would love to have a basement, man, because I could cool it down to the 60s like that. I can keep a lot more killifish that I want to keep. A lot of stuff you got to keep cooler. You get to 72, 73 degrees, and it's already getting too hot for it. You can't breed them that hot. And my house is 75, my tanks are. So it's like, oh, that sucks. So it eliminates how many I can keep or what species I can keep. 72 is good.
Some batteries. I'll tell you what it is. My batteries are dead. I'm going to put some batteries in and I'll tell you exactly what that tank is.
I wish I could have more heaterless tanks, but Wisconsin winters says otherwise. Hey, there's a bunch of killifish breeders in Wisconsin, and they love that cool temperatures. Like 72 is nice. Even in the mid 60s or low 60s is great for some of the killies. So it just depends on what you want to keep. Mine heated tanks in the basement are in the mid to low 60s. Exactly. Yeah. It just depends on what you want to keep. If you were to keep natives, you could even do that. It'd be awesome to have some really cool native tanks and let that sucker drop. What's the guy's name that does that? He has nothing but natives and he lives in his basement and just lets it go. It'd be in the 50s down there and everything does great. I haven't caught him on a live stream. I wonder why it quit. I wonder if he quit streaming. It was like I can't remember, Pyle Aquatics. He went by at one point at least. I can't remember if that's the way he goes by, but he had some awesome bowfin and pickerel and man, a bunch of sunfish. He had some really cool stuff, but he had that really cold temperatures, which were awesome. Uh, I've got rice fish and CPDs and unheated tanks right now. I don't know about CPDs. I never thought about that. Never paid attention. I've got some of those too, but I don't know what temperatures they can hang out with. Rice fish. I got rice fish outside right now, and the top of my tank started getting a little bit of, like I was talking about earlier, some ice was forming around the top. Those can freeze over as long as they don't freeze solid. They'll be fine. 71.1, nice. My fish are native somewhere. No, yeah, good point.
That is my native tank.
That's good. I think that's great. I keep my neocardinas, my guppies unheated. Guppies.
That's an unheated tank sitting in front of another tank.
I try keeping guppies outside. Worked great during the summertime as long as I kept it, under probably 92, 93. I didn't have any problems. I never tried to get hotter than that. But when it got around 62 or so, that's when my guppies started dying. And so I had to pull them back inside. But I'm assuming if you would keep them out there and push your limit every time with some of them, eventually you would get some that would be able to handle colder and colder down to, they probably have a bottom somewhere that won't get colder than that. Yep, it's name with cold in it. What was that? I didn't see it.
I guess tank is 77.2 degrees.
Okay.
It's 74 down here. So believe it or not, I probably could take the heaters out of all of my tanks and they would stay pretty decent down here. Even with these guys. Except for my Akara. I can't take them out of there. Unfortunately, I have been running them at like 83 to 84 degrees since I got them.
How long is that? Year?
2 years now.
Oh yeah, you got to be careful and start acclimating like that. Then that might be a problem. Cold water, yeah, like those guys. Maybe they're on a break. I guess they did quit filming. They were filming every week for a long time.
Run about 69 to 70. I hate heaters. I really do. So the goal is on the new fish room is to close off a room the new room will be a closed off room. It will have all of these tanks in it. Well, most of them. This one,
okay.
My 125s, my 90s, and a few 75s. Actually, all of my 75s. Probably one or two 55s. Because unfortunately, I can't shut my saltwater tank down. I'm not going to get rid of it. So I hate heaters. Tomorrow we are expecting a high of 4 degrees with wind chills around 25 below. That's cold.
Oof,
I live in Arizona and there's no fish store anywhere near me but a Petco.
That sucks.
That does.
I don't have one in town anymore. I don't have one. My nearest fish store is good fish store is probably 30 miles away. Is the closest good fish store. I went there today.
That's the temperature in my basement and humidity. Only reason the humidity is going up is because my hand's touching it.
Yeah, it's about what it is in my house right now. My fish room, for some reason, I've got the vents completely closed, but it's heating up in there. It's got up to like 80 degrees in there today. And that's too hot for it. And I've got the vent completely closed off. And I don't know what's going on because it usually doesn't do that. Not that hot. So I got to figure out. I must have another vent closed off in the house. It's back pushing air back into there. I need to open up so it won't be blowing such air in there or something. I don't know. I got to figure it out because that's too hot. Because it seems like if the colder it is outside, the hotter that room gets because the heater's on more and it heats that room up. So I've got to be kind of careful. If it gets to 50 degrees out, that room starts getting cool again because the heater doesn't come on very much. So that the temperatures in there are all over the place. And I'm having troubles right now breeding my killifish because the temperatures are everywhere.
5,010 views on that video.
Nice.
It's been up 2 days and 7 hours.
Now, sometimes the goofy stuff, too. You need to find something kind of weird to put on there. Because I did a thing about how to adjust mouse traps on my snake channel. And I got, I don't know how many thousands of views. It was like 20,000 views or some crazy amount from that stupid video. It was just how to how to adjust the regular old snap trap, and how do you adjust it so it's the hair trigger? Because you want those. If you just put them on the package and you hook them up, you're not gonna catch nothing on those things. They're just way too stiff. You gotta get that thing that half the time when you're laying it down, you can't lay it down gentle enough without setting it off. If you're setting it off when you set it down, you get that thing adjusted just right. You got to try it 2 or 3 times to get it set down without touching anything. And then, oh man, get that thing just set at a hair trigger. I've had them just go off in the middle of the night because they're just so, they just eventually slip or something and pop.
Oh, yeah. We are currently in Ohio at 13 degrees.
Let me check here.
Tomorrow we're going to have a high of 21 and a low of 5. We're going to be -2 next Saturday. I'm just hoping the taco starts.
Taco starts?
Yeah, the Tacoma. Taco.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, Trey, you call it taco.
His
Yeah,
name's Juan Taco.
Right now it's 38 here. It's colder than I thought it was.
That's a heat wave. I would love 38.
It's supposed to get out 29 and then 56 for a high and then 26 for low. Then you go back into 50s and, this is more normal temperatures here. We get, it goes between like 50s and 30s. That's kind of where it fluctuates. That's kind of normal temperatures this time of year here, which isn't bad at all. Ooh, looks like we saw some rain coming. Ooh, this is not good. This Friday is supposed to be a high of 55, a low of 23, but rain. And next day on Saturday, a high of 29, low of 16, and rain. An inch of rain at 29 and 16 degrees. That's not looking good. I haven't seen the forecast. I need to listen to the forecast going, oh, crap. We may have an ice storm coming.
You might. Man, I've got some new names in my chat that I normally don't have tonight. So we got Mike Hunt. I know that sounded really great.
That's one of your friends right there.
Aquarium Domain by Andy. Evil Knievel. And then we're going to go down here. I know new local Austin.
Yeah, I met him a couple times.
Jay Oliver's Guppy and Aquatics. I mean, these are all names that I don't see in here very often, or I haven't seen it here. Welcome in. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, you should. I do put out some pretty cool content sometimes when I feel like it. This is my other channel. I've been trying to push it a little bit. I'm trying to get it there. I would need to get it to what I believe it is 50 subscribers before you can go live. I would do nothing more than I would love to do a live stream of me working on a car.
That sounds cool.
That is something I would like to do. I have the technology to do it. It's not an issue. It's just doing it because I got to get to the sub count. I have 20. I need to get to 50.
I just realized I got more than one channel. I forgot to add the other channels to it. So I'll add you 2 or 3 more channels real quick when we get off here.
Yeah. So, I'm just trying to promote. I'm trying to promote myself. I'm basically trying to whore myself out. I mean, come on. I'd whore me out. Let me look at this. I'm joking.
Watching you do that, so it's making me think I should maybe get back into doing the reptiles stuff.
Man, I think you should get your snake and reptile channel going. I really do, Mark, because you're a very knowledgeable guy with that stuff.
I just got to get my head back in the game. It's like I've burned out with it over 30 years. I mean, so hard building the Facebook channel, Facebook group that didn't seem like it, but whenever you're putting everything into that thing, the dispel myths and to keep things civil between people, it was a 24/7 job, man. I stressed out for years on that thing. It was insane. So I just put everything into that. Finally, now it's to the point where I've got enough really admins and people that are knowledgeable that I can back away a little bit and kind of take a break and let everybody else let it run and just kind of manage it from a distance. Because I just couldn't. If I'd kept at that pace, my brain would have exploded. It was insane.
Y'all look like some happy dads who just want to spread their love for aquatics. I don't have any kids. Sorry. Hate to burst anybody's bubble. I'm the farthest thing from a dad as there is. But I do love fish. So I guess that means something. I would love to share my information with anybody. Maybe it could help somebody.
I got a couple girls, and I had an idea once. My wife wouldn't have anything to do with coming on live streams or on YouTube. She's not into that at all. I could make her, but I'm not going to do that. But my kids, I thought it would be cool to sit down one day and do like a reminiscing type of video where we start telling stories of some of the crazy stuff that we've done. I mean, they remember stuff that I don't remember. I'm going like, I don't remember that. It takes me a while, and all of a sudden I start remembering. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. And some of the stuff they remember is like absolutely insane. There's so much crazy stuff. I mean, we used to have an old AMC Concorde, not AMC. That was my first car. I had a Saturn, an old standard shift Saturn. That thing, we had that thing forever. I ran that thing into the dirt. The whole thing was just falling apart. The whole liner was coming down. I put their initials with my fingers in the liner. They thought that was the greatest thing in the world. The rings and stuff were either rings or valves. Something was causing blow by. So when I get down the road, if I left the gas on the thing real fast, it's going down the hill, it backfire. And if I'm going down the street and I just barely going down the street and I'd gun it, it would just roll smoke out the back. So I remember my youngest daughter was in the car with me, and my oldest daughter was on the street corner waiting for the bus, and we'd roll coal on her every morning. My youngest daughter thought it was so freaking hilarious. I'd smoke her out with that thing, and that thing would backfire, and we take that thing anywhere. I'd take it down to the river. We'd all jump in the river and just jump in the car, and we were done. We didn't even try off. We didn't care because it was completely worthless. I took that car, and my buddy was needing a vehicle. He was completely out of a vehicle. He needed something to get to work with. And I was like, dude, I got a car for you. I'll sell it to you right now for whatever it's worth scrap. Call up a scrap yard right now. Whatever price they give you, I'll sell it to you for scraps. You can't lose your money. If you don't want it, scrap it. You'll get your money back. He goes, okay. He called up and I gave him like $250 for the car. And I was like, $250 is yours. and then he sold it to somebody else that needed the car after he got on his feet. I mean, that thing was so beat up, but it ran great. Even it smoked like crazy. And I remember there being a ring kit or something that you had to go in there, and not rings, but the valve kit or something you put on it, and you could stop that. But I was like, I don't care. It's everything else is falling apart. The doors were falling in on it. The locks weren't. I could take the key out of the ignition when I'm driving down the road. The kids thought that was hilarious. I could start the car without the key in it. It didn't matter. The thing was just trash.
That was a recall, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, I could have got it fixed free. The key was?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. So I didn't even know that. But that was a fun car. They grew up in that car. I got that car when they were little infants. So that's what. It's weird how a car like that, a piece of junk. I mean, it was a crappy car, but it was dependable, and the kids have fond memories of that thing. You know?
I mean, look at the car that I refer to as the shit box, the Accord. I paid $300 for it. Got 200 some thousand miles on it, still going out here.
I mean,
I've got a Civic in my garage. I paid $300 for. It had a wrecked front end. It's almost fixed. It's going to be on the other channel.
Sweet.
I got the truck that I didn't pay much for. I'm not gonna disclose what I paid for that.
Yeah, you probably get mad at you then.
I stole that thing for what I paid for it. But you know, sometimes it's not what I think. I think we look at it different, man. Like a lot of people probably would have scrapped that Saturn when you started having the problems with it. You were looking at it like, I think I can get a few more years out of that.
Hell yeah.
And I kind of understand that theory because that's what I'm trying to go for. You know, I'm about, like I said, I grew up poor. I'm used to fixing things and making things last. So that's where my drive to fix things came from. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to 100%, I'm going to exploit my talents. I'm going to pull a LeBron James. I'm going to take my talents to South Beach.
Hey, go for it, man.
Someday I'm going to be, Jesse said it best. You're going to be on one of those TV shows. You're going to be talking about your crazy escapades with your ex-wife just to get TV drama. I don't need TV drama. I'm going for an educational show. I apologize if you guys subscribe to that channel and you hear me swear. It's going to happen. It is a mechanic thing. If you know anybody that's a mechanic that tells you they don't swear, they are a liar. I promise you. There's not a dude out there that busts his knuckles and says, "Oh, shucks." No
kidding.
He busts his knuckles and he starts throwing stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very vocal, so if I'm doing that stuff, and I might yell out, but I don't know. And it's just not that. Just not who I am. I don't know why I bust my knuckles, and I stop and I get pissed off for a while. But usually I'll go when I start turning, busting knuckles and getting frustrated. I can't get my fingers where I need to get them to go. They won't work right when I need it. Just to get that freaking nut on there, and you're about ready to just want to burn the whole thing to the ground. That's when I go, wait, stop, take a break,
Walk
go
away.
inside, walk away, right? Walk away, forget about everything you're doing here for a second somehow, and come back. When every time I do that, when I come back, it is a whole lot easier. But you just get yourself so frustrated and worked up, and you get your mindset that my hand has to be here. This is going to work this way. But sometimes you back off and go, wait, all I had to do is move my hand this little over here like that. It goes right in,
Sometimes you just need to walk away.
Yeah, you have to.
Man, and I piss the guys I work with off, man. They're over there. They're two guys. They're probably about 145 pounds apiece. Okay. They're probably 5'8", 5'9", if that. I'm 5'11". I'm fat. I ain't gonna lie. I'm 5'11", 270. 273. These guys are over here. These guys are over here just struggling to get something loose. I mean, they're hanging on a bolt. I walk over and I'm like, eh. They're like, how'd you do that? I said, just hold down. And really chaps a lot of people's ass when you're younger than them and you teach them something that they already know. Like, for one, if you know anything about how stainless steel works. All right, stainless steel nuts and bolts, if they don't have a lubricant on them when you're putting them together, they mar. You need to use anti-seize or some kind of like oil or some kind of grease.
Okay.
Otherwise, it strips out as it tightens. It'll tighten down, but once you go to take it back off, it's over with. It'll rip every thread off of it. Now, factory bolts and nuts on your exhaust that come from the factory, even like Kias, Hondas, Toyotas, even Chevy, they use stainless steel hardware. It is put on by a computer. It is greased from the factory to where it doesn't mar, and it's tightened so it works tight. Now, with stainless steel, when you heat it up, the molecules shift around. I know that sounds weird.
No, it
but
doesn't.
they shift around. And when it does that, you can get the bolt off. You can get the nut off. But you can't heat it cherry red. And that's where everybody messes up with stainless steel. If you get it cherry red, don't touch it. Walk away from it. Let it cool down. It's too hot. You need to warm stainless steel. Just warm it, and then it'll crack right loose. And I've tried to explain this to people, and they look at me like I don't know. I was going to say the word, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
They look at me like I'm stupid, and I'm like, you got to listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. No, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just blowing smoke up my ass. I said, all right, do it your way, and then I'll do it my way.
When somebody's got more experience than me, you just got to shut up. Even though how ridiculous it sounds, shut up, listen to what they're telling you. At least try it. I mean, what does it hurt? Try it your way, and if it doesn't work your way, I'll do it my way. But if you come over here and tell me that, I'm stopping and listen to you. I'm going to think, okay, you're freaking crazy, but you know what? You might be right because you've done this before. So let me try it, and I might learn something.
This dude is 62 years old. He's been doing this as long as I've been alive. I said, fine, you do it your way once. And I said, then I'll do the other one my way. He heats it up. Snap. I said, my turn. I walked over and I got a little map gas torch. He's using oxygen acetylene. I get a little orange map gas torch. Stood there for a minute. Turned it off, set it down. I stood there. I looked up at it. I'm like, all right. Took it right off. Cracked it loose and spun it off with my fingers.
Yeah, let the heat soak in a little bit too.
Yep. And he just looked at me. I said, I told you, you can't overheat stainless steel. It doesn't work that way.
Makes sense. Hey, sweet Polly, tell your granddaughter to check out my other channel. That's What Kind of Snake Is This, North Texas? No, it's not either. It's Texas Snake ID. Texas Snake ID is the other Facebook, other YouTube channel.
Pull it up and post it. I'll put it up.
So let's see if I can here. Can I?
You should be able to share screen.
I'm gonna pull up a whole nother. Let me try something.
If not, just pop it in the comment section and I'll pull it up and share it.
So I've got a YouTube and a face. what we call a website with the same name.
I think I'm in one of your groups on Facebook with snakes.
Probably what kind of snake is this? North
Yeah.
Texas.
And I see people posting stuff all the time.
Shut up.
There's a lot of incorrect answers, and then I see other people chime in with the right answer, and I'll honestly, I will look it up. Good night, New Local Austin. Have a good night. Good luck with the channel. Sounds promising. I'm gonna do my best to make it as big as I can. Man, I've had some new names in here tonight I don't usually have in here. Maybe it's because you're on here.
I don't know. Maybe
You are well known.
in some areas. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I'll see if I can go back and share a screen somehow. Sources. See if that's what.
Should be down at the bottom, or should be looks like a little TV with an arrow in it,
Little
or a
TV.
screen with an
Oh,
arrow.
okay. Okay, there it is. Share screen. Is it up? Well, there it goes.
It had to wait for me to let it go.
Approve it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's my page. I'm trying to see how many. I got 2,460 subscribers, 250 videos.
Nice.
They would never let me monetize it. I would get the amount of views and everything it needed. Everything would be green and everything, or whatever, not green, whatever it was. But then it just would never let me monetize.
You got to go. You got to go and get the watch hours. You got to do live streams and such on it.
I had to watch hours. That's what I mean. I was frustrating. I was like, I checked all the boxes, and I'm going like, what's the deal? I don't know. So this was crazy, man. We were out there in West Texas, and if you look, it's the GoPro on my head. There's a snake that shows up right here on the trail. Yeah, it's going to be up here.
Go!
There it is.
Racer!
And it's extremely fast.
Where'd it go?
Whip snake.
I mean, it went like there. It disappeared. It was 2 feet from me.
And that thing,
wow.
they're incredibly hard to
Okay.
catch. But this
Wait till
snake,
it
it's
gets over
up here in this thing. We have a group of
It's a
people.
nice
We
big
surrounded
racer,
it.
right
It's
in
in
the
here. So even on this video, it shows up here
It's
on
beautiful.
top.
These are absolutely gorgeous
And
snakes.
even if I slowed it down the video,
It's gonna be a shot.
it literally
or it's a central.
materializes there. It's like it's not there and then it is. It's bizarre. I can't explain it. It's almost like
It went
super
straight into this
natural.
stuff, and I mean, it just as soon as it disappeared.
And 2 or 3 was
I only
kind
saw
of
it
drag
when it hit
grab
the
at it,
trail.
and
It's gone. It's real
this is the
thin,
kind of stuff we
very
do.
dark colored. And it's got some little reddish and
lot
white
of fun.
stripes, kind of.
I'll quit playing with it.
Oh, he's up top.
Up top.
See him.
Where'd he go?
He's coming in towards him.
I'm trying to make it bigger.
I can't get him. I don't see him.
Coming that way, he's going that way.
I see him coming towards you.
You guys
Bunch
got
of
this
snake
train.
things.
I see him. I tried.
And there goes Mark.
Yep, I crashed right through the missed him first time.
Got him.
Got him a second time though.
Hopefully it's a racer.
So you got the snake in your hand?
Yeah, I got it now. You'll see in a second. I'll get it in the camera. Right, see there.
Nice. And this thing didn't bite you?
Somebody get a picture.
I don't remember if it did. They don't have very sharp teeth.
My
They
GoPro
have
was
sharp
working
teeth,
the whole
but they don't
time.
have very good jaw pressure.
Yes, on the GoPro.
But they're no big deal. It's a minor problem if they do bite you. Nothing to worry about.
Oh, my stomach hurts.
I think she's
Did
still
it cut
stuck in the.
Yeah, a little
Randy has
bit.
a back issues, and
Minor.
so she's still stuck in the
No,
bush
he's
over
doing
there.
everything.
We're trying to pull her out.
These are awesome.
She dove
What's
after
your
it.
face? They go for
That's my
faces.
daughter right there
Hi, you got a little cut.
with the orange thing
You
around her
did?
neck.
Where?
Okay.
Just got one like right here.
It's me.
That's my youngest.
I gotta say, she looked a little like you.
Grab the boom. There.
Yeah, sorry for her.
I don't see anything wrong.
Why?
They're fast, man.
No, he went around that tree like 4 times.
Central whiptail, whip snake, or a Shots whip snake. I think
It was a central. It was a central.
Central Texas
That
whip
little
snake.
snake is a little
Gorgeous
little
snake.
angry there.
He was in the middle of the trail.
Yeah, he is because
And they
it's
move so
off now.
fast.
But
So
they
lucky to catch
they're
them.
extremely difficult to catch. Not very many people catch those things.
Probably
It's a really
Central
cool find.
Texas
They're
whip
not
snake
super
or
common
a
either.
Shots whip snake.
But we set him
I think
down.
it's
Finally getting
Central
calmed
Texas. I
down,
gotta
and we
look it
took a bunch of photos of the thing. And then another group of people started walking down the
They'll come
trail, and I was
down
like,
like
"Oh, right,
they,
here
Coach
comes
will.
somebody."
And
Sure
if
enough,
Chloe
there's
says
another
go
group
for
of
it,
people
she'll
looking
go.
for snakes.
But take photos
A couple of
now
guys looking
before
for
I put him down.
speckled rattlesnakes.
Look how
They
it's that
stopped
red in
the
the middle.
photos of it
That's
too
weird.
because it's
That is so cool.
pretty unusual find, and
Okay, so put it
This is
in
a cool
our
find.
list
to be able
as
to catch
what?
it. You saw how
Central
fast that
Texas
thing was.
until we go
That
back
thing's
and look
fast.
it up. Central
Yeah.
Texas whip snake. It's definitely a whip snake.
It
I
just
mean,
disappeared in an instant.
He looks like he's
Yeah,
getting
look
used
up
to you
shots.
holding him now.
It says-
Yeah,
Here's
they
the-
calm down pretty quick.
Okay.
And the lady right here in the green, that's my wife.
South of the curve.
okay, this is Central.
So
then.
she got snake boots and
This
stuff
is
on too.
I was gonna say she got some nice boots on.
Snake of the day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have.
And this is
Right
Mario.
on
He's
my
like my
hand
best
is
friend.
on
Him and I
it.
do all kind of venomous training in Oklahoma City,
Can you double him
and
up a
we
little?
do stuff around Texas too. Train people how to
Calm my mind
how to
down.
actually
How bad
handle
I
and,
kept
deal with venomous snakes.
Dad, you dove into
Ask your
that
wife if
tree.
I can borrow that hat.
He dove into
One-
it.
Hell yeah.
I don't remember which hat she's got
You
on.
know, I don't mess
If
around.
it pops
Don't
up.
worry about getting hurt.
Oh, I
Catch the
know.
damn thing.
On him, I just-
There you
Looks
go.
like a big sombrero.
See, now he's starting to settle down.
Yeah, and
There we go.
you know they look kind of cool here, but when you have them in your hand, they're way prettier.
Anybody need any?
They're really cool. See, I finally
Pretty
calmed
looking
down.
snake.
We'll sit him down here too in a minute.
They're gorgeous when you get up close. I get some good photos of it. But that was one of my favorite snakes of the
You get it
trip
up or you want it like
because
this?
of the difficulty of catching it and
If
kind of
that's
the
what you
rarity.
want, I can get him
Most
going.
snakes don't take off like that. They'll just sit in the trail and let you get close, and then he might start, turning and then
Kinda
try to
like
take
a
off. But
coach whip.
those things see you and they're gone. You see them on the road, you don't even slow down because they're in the next county before you get a car stopped.
Absolutely. Your wife's got a couple of
It's like the
cameras.
third
She got a
one I've seen.
gimbal on her cell phone, and then
I've caught everyone I've seen so far.
Justin, what do you think?
then the
It's
actual
crazy.
camera.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, Sheriff.
We all
Sheriff.
oh yeah, that's some
Justin.
shit at sombrero.
He probably said he'd have boots on. It goes up to his nuts.
I was trying to shoot a watch on
Here's good. This might work.
I ain't playing with those snakes.
Spot over
I
here,
don't
we
like
can get a
snakes
back out,
either.
got a lot of stuff in front of him. Here we go. All right, anybody want to take a shot? I'm gonna stick him right over here.
And
The trick
that is going to be
with him,
my
getting a shot
future
without your camera with your
sister-in-law,
shadow and
probably.
stuff. So let's do this.
The bleeding on the back of your arm, baby.
I'll probably
Future
bleed all over the
sister-in-law.
place.
She probably will be shortly. My
Oh,
daughter's
my legs,
engaged to
both
her
legs are tore up.
brother,
Hey, you ladies have the
Okay.
which is kind of like his
So if you
mother
stand over
too. It's
there,
kind of a
shoot
weird
this way.
situation.
I'm fine.
And I'll wrangle him.
But I've known her
If he
for
gets away, he gets away.
probably almost 30 years.
Because if he goes, I don't know if I can catch him again. He made a mistake and hit that. You know, we can turn this
So
way.
this is kind of how we
There you
do,
go.
trying to get them to pose for pictures.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a nice snake.
You move some of this out of the way. It's not on him. Okay. Get somebody like that, and then I'll change him again. That's a pretty snake.
So I forgot the GoPro's
In the
even on
books,
at this
if you look
point.
at him in the book, they don't
My
look that good.
drone's pumping.
I want to move, but I'm afraid he's going to go somewhere.
I'll catch you. Just go ahead and move. Do whatever you got to do.
You got to be
He has that
cat-like
weird
reflexes.
variation
Years of having
where it's
kids
like
knocking
light,
stuff
dark,
off
light,
counters
dark,
helps a
like a
lot.
strip.
Yep, but it's changed its color too.
You get those fast dad reflexes.
And it,
Yeah.
Better put your hat over.
No, hang
I'm
on.
just trying to pose him.
He's starting to
Can
get
hold
warm.
still.
So he's getting
It's
warm.
frustrating with that GoPro's on my
Spin around
chest.
for a while and they get all confused. And they kind of start calming down.
Hey, Mark, my natives eat cichlid peely.
Got that
Lightning.
parametric pressure.
I bet they'll
Just
eat
don't
about
play
anything
dead
you
with
throw
it.
in there.
They do.
I bet it didn't take more than a couple of days for them to get used to you.
They ate the same day.
Oh yeah, they'll eat like immediately. But then they get used to you after 2 or 3 days. They start figuring you out and going, "Hey, wait, he's the guy that gives me food," and they'll start coming up to the
Take
tank.
that real low.
They're
if you
pretty.
can.
I think they're
Right
easier
angle to the
acclimated than most of
Hey, let me see if I can do something better.
the exotic stuff,
'Cause I don't like that.
the tropicals. They just kind of get it.
Much better.
Yeah.
I'm serious. It is this.
No.
You wait. You see the pictures. You're going, oh yeah.
Oh,
And the
man.
lady that's laying down on the ground, she's
Yeah, it looks
yeah,
like you
wildlife
got a rope
rehabber
or
that I'm
something.
sub-permanent underneath of.
That looks like he's just sitting there.
I
ready to
do
take
have a
off.
question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have an update on that eagle?
Oh, I need to get a current. There's a nice picture right there. But yeah, I need to ask again. Bald eagle, it checked out fine. There was no physical damage to it. It looked like they ran swabs on it for West Nile virus and bird flu, avian flu, and it had neither one. Both negative for that. So now they're taking it up to. They should have taken it. It'll probably have to wait till Monday. I think no, he should have taken it yesterday. It had to be Friday, whenever. Take it up to the actual vet that's he's the only vet around that does birds. Everybody, all the falconry people and everything to go to him. He's the bird guy. They're gonna take it to him. He's got the permits and stuff to keep the eagles. He's gonna look up and draw blood. You actually have to draw blood to look for lead poisoning. Because this point we're thinking it's got lead poisoning. That's the first thing I thought when I saw the thing. I was like, I bet this thing's got lead poisoning because there's nothing physically wrong with it. All the signs of West Nile virus and the bird flu, which is avian flu, which is, man, that's deadly to almost all the birds around here. They got that, dude, they're pretty much dead. But they have all kind of weird things going on, with their body. You could usually tell. I didn't see any of that stuff. And I'm like, I think this thing might be lead poisoning. And what happens is, especially this time of year, you got hunters out there and they'll shoot a nice big deer and empty the gut pile out right there. Well, you have lead fragments from the bullet in that gut pile, and the birds will come down and scavenge on that gut pile and get the lead in them. And birds are very, very sensitive to lead, way more so than other animals. So they get really messed up with it pretty fast. But it is curable though. If they can test it, it does have lead poisoning, they can treat it for that. But it was eating 3 or 4 quail a day the last time I talked, because it was real thin, but it was pounding down quail. It was still able to stand. So I need to ask him again what they found, if they found anything. Sometimes you get the animals in like that and they're doing poorly, but there's never an explanation. Sometimes they get better, sometimes they don't. And no matter what test you run, no matter how you look at them, there's nothing wrong with them, but yet they're failing. So, and sometimes it's old age. Sometimes you can't tell an animal how old it is. This bird we know was probably 4 to 5 years old because of the way the speckling on the white of the tail and the head. It still had a little bit of color still left in it. So bald eagles, like a red-tailed hawk, the first year red-tailed, first feathers it grows out, the tail is not red. It's kind of a brown color with some barring on it. And then the first year during the summer, early summer, they'll start dropping all their feathers out, and they'll drop them off in pairs on the tail, and then throughout their whole body, and their wings will drop off in pairs. They'll grow them all back. So that all those new feathers grow back in. That's when they get that red tail after the first year. So that's how when you go trap a bird for falconry, you've got a juvenile bird or what they consider an adult bird. It still could be a juvenile. Doesn't matter. If it's got red, all those feathers are red in the tail, that's an adult bird. If it's got one juvenile feather, it's still a juvenile, because what will happen is sometimes you'll get injuries or whatever. They'll drop some feathers out when they're young, and they'll grow new feathers back in before that first full molt. So it'll still be their first year bird. But so that's how this guy. But bald eagles are a little different. They go through. It takes them multiple years to get whiter and whiter and whiter until they get to their full adulthood. So we know this bird is not, old age is not what its problem is, because it's only 4 or 5 years old by the color of its feathers. And you can tell it's a male, most likely, because it's not real big. Even though that's a big bird, relatively speaking, it's not that big. So a female will be about 20% bigger, which is substantial. You just put them side by side, you can see the difference.
Yeah, you were telling me that. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big bird already. You're talking about it, add another like half a foot to it, if not a foot of a bird.
Yeah, it gets big. And the crazy thing is, like with red-tailed hawks and most of the hawks and falcons and stuff, the first year birds are actually bigger than the adults, because the feathers are longer and they're more pronounced on a first year bird. The second year when they molt out, they actually get smaller. So by looking at the body of the thing, they look bigger, longer tails and bigger body, bigger wings, longer wing feathers. But then the second year, a little smaller, which is kind of weird. But you really can't tell how, what kind of condition a bird's in by looking at it, because all the feathers are there. You can't tell if it's fat or not. So you got to look at look at the breast right here. You got to feel. You just go in there and feel it. So we call it butterball fat, is like a butterball turkey, where you can't even see the keel right here in the middle. It's just muscle and fat and everything. That's as fat as they get. Then as they lean out, that keel will start doing this. It will start caving in as they start losing weight. So whenever you reach in there and feel, you can basically gauge about what kind of health they're in by the way you're feeling that keel here in the middle. This guy was pretty thin. Wasn't emaciated, but he was definitely thin. He hadn't ate anything in a while. So whenever you're getting your bird, you're flying your bird too. That's another thing you do when you're a falconer. You're feeling that keel all the time. Because when you're flying your bird throughout the year, you're flying it more and more. You're training it more. You're working it more. It'll start putting on muscle, but yet you could be losing fat. So you want to have some fat stores to it. So you can actually that thing will start getting thin, even though the weight, when you weigh it, it's actually where it's supposed to be, maybe a little bit up, but yet your bird's getting thin. So you can actually crash your bird weight-wise by not paying attention to all the details. how much fat it's actually got compared to its weight. So it's kind of a complicated thing, but it's easy to learn. Once you do it, you see what's happening, and it makes real common sense. You can kind of see the way your bird's flying too. If all of a sudden it's just not wanting to fly right, you're going, it doesn't have any energy, doesn't want to chase anything. You're going, okay, well, what's wrong? That's when you start, double check your weights. You start feeling that keel and going, oh, if it's super fat, it's like, oh, it's just fat and happy. It don't want to hunt because it doesn't have to. But then if it gets too thin, then doesn't have the energy to hunt. So whenever you're flying your bird, you're hunting with your bird, you want your bird to be a athlete at its peak. You're trying to get that peak amount out of it. So you want the hunger to be there. You want it to be hungry, but not starving, because then it can't function. And you don't want it fat, because if you get a fat marathon runner or a 100-yard dasher, you're not going to go anywhere. You need the energy. So you got to get that bird right at its peak, its absolute best, to have a successful bird. And that's a lot of fun when you get those things, man, flying down on a rabbit or something. I just saw a bird today, a red-tailed hawk, slam into something this afternoon. But if you're watching, you'll see that quite often. There's lots of birds around. In fact, in the north, they might be down. Might have pushed them out of there by now. It's getting pretty cold. It pushes them here.
Probably down your way by now. They're not up here.
Yeah. Every cold front. It's kind of cool. You'll see the cold front's coming like today. I've seen a bunch of birds out there because the cold front pushed them all down. Then in a few days, if it warms back up there and it warms up here, some of them will move back up north a little bit. So they'll bounce around to where the temperatures are okay and they can hunt. So, and then they do the big migrations in the beginning of the year and the end of the year. So, and there's some birds that will stay in the same area. We got some resident birds that'll stay here all year, and other ones will migrate through.
It's good to know.
Yeah, they're pretty neat.
Well, sir, I think I'm going to end this live stream, but I'd like you to hang around for a moment.
Sure. Yeah, we almost got 2 hours.
Yeah,
pretty quick.
I've got to be up early. I've got an appointment, but I still want to have a conversation with you about something.
Okay. I'm tomorrow off. They give us tomorrow off. Me and my wife both. So wife's out of town.
I'm off until February 9th.
Okay. I thought you were supposed to go back sometime in January. I guess it got pushed back a little bit.
Got pushed back. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Appreciate everybody being here. If you guys haven't filed your taxes, you can't file them until the 26th. That is one thing the IRS is asking. Wait till the 26th.
Didn't know that.
Yes. If you guys haven't followed Pyle Aquatics, you should. You also should go find the snake channel, because the dude's got some cool stuff out there. Anything you want to say, Mark, before we end this?
Appreciate you having me on.
It's always a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your hobby. Do it your way. Stay warm.